Hello there, dear student. Passing through about what is the major difference when we are learning about search engine optimization and search engine marketing. The pointers which we have understood in the previous video. Let us move forward in this video and look through at the mechanism of indeed what is happening at the back end whenever we are doing a search or whenever we are searching something online, or indeed understand that how SEO works. Also, in case if you are looking through for getting more details into the other part of paid advertisement, you can definitely have a look through of at the course related to SEM or search engine marketing or Google AdWords, so as you could get details and insights about the same. With that being said, while as a normal person, anyone who is knowing about search engine, and if anyone is asked across, would be telling through of it being associated with Google itself, which is one of the market leaders. For information purpose, would also like to let you know about some other search engines which are there in the market apart from it. One of the other search engine which is there is known through as Bing. It is a product of Microsoft indeed, and it is something which you can use through not as famous as Google indeed, but having some percentage of market share in regards of the searches done onto it. So that's one more search engine which you can use across, having the same mechanism related to how things work in SEO. Similarly, there is one more search engine which is becoming famous quite recently, named through as DuckDuckGo. So that's also one more search engine which you could be using across for doing across any of your searches. So just to show you an example of the same, it's quite in line in look and feel of any common search engine wherein you can go across and do it. One of the difference which is there out here is that they allow doing or showing the search results without tracking of your data or without some set of tracking occurring through. So that's one of the reasons why few of the people use it. Apart from it, while these are all global search engines used everywhere, there are also some local players which are very famous in a particular country or location. Like in China, there is a search engine named Baidu, which is very famous, and people do a lot of Chinese searches or searches in Chinese language out there on Baidu. Similarly, in Russia, there is a search engine named Yandex, which is quite famous, wherein people do a lot of searches in Russian language. And there is also something known as Naver, which is famous in Korea. So across regions, there are some other mechanisms, search engines, etc. as well, which are used apart from the global leader like Google. So that's a small briefer which I want to give or share across with you for information purpose. Once that is seen, the main thing we need to understand out here is to go ahead and get insights about the backend process used across by Google to go ahead and help you out understand or help you to get ideally the search results which you see. So if anyone would like to know or would like to get info about what are the major steps which are happening at the back end, whenever we have an intent in our mind, we put it up in form of few terms and go ahead and click on search. As soon as that happens, we see through the results appearing across on our search engine page. In that time frame of few seconds or few microseconds, wherein you may have typed like car insurance online or fitness centers nearby or restaurants in Las Vegas, whatever may be the search term you have entered, in that small time frame, there is this three-step process which appears or ideally occurs at the backend, and ideally not just for each search which is done on a continuous basis as a part and parcel of the working process of search engines. There are these three steps which are followed by and utilized by majorly all search engines to go ahead and show you the results which you are seeing. So let us have a look through at each one of them one after the other. The first and foremost one is named as crawling. What happens in this phase or particular mechanism of crawling is that by default there are certain code or algorithms which are being devised across by various set of search engines for their own search engine itself. And these algorithms are having just one common aim or one common job or duty to perform. And that aim indeed is to go ahead and do crawling of data, or to go ahead and crawl across any particular web page. What we mean out here by crawling is that this code goes ahead and finds across various set of web pages on the internet, and on those web pages it tries to link across or establish a kind of mesh across all of them and try to know or try to collect data ideally about what is the content on that particular set of page. So that's the major aim which is there with this particular mechanism, or which is there available out here when we are talking about crawling process. So this code or algorithm, in technical terms, they are ideally known as bots, or they are indeed known as spiders as well. And like a normal spider, a normal natural spider, which has the tendency of creating mesh from within itself and then crawling across from one location to another with the help of that mesh. Similarly, out here in the crawling process of SEO, there is these codes which keep on day in, day out, night in, night out, month in, month out, year in, year out. They only have one job or duty to perform, that go ahead and crawl, go ahead and keep on linking all pages, whichever, wherever, however you can find it on the internet, and then create a interlinked mesh or create a complete interlinked scenario out of the same. Like a spider would create a mesh where they would stay across in, or from with the help of which they would go from one location to other. So this is the first step which is done by various set of search engines of crawling or knowing information indeed about web pages, and the kind of data which they are searching for in those web pages is defined by a term named as metadata. What indeed metadata is, we'll be seeing that further in our some set of videos as the time arrives across. But just at the moment, it's for remembering purpose that that particular data which is seen, or which the crawler is hungry to capture across, is indeed known as metadata.